Hey everybody, welcome to Season 3 of Song Revolution. Get ready to ramp up your songwriting. Hey everybody, John back with another edition of Song Revolution. We're so glad that you're here, that you're taking a few minutes out of your day to download some inspiration and some insights into what's going to help you fulfill your calling. We're so glad that you're here, and we appreciate you sharing the love, sharing out this podcast if it's meaningful to you. So we've been doing this show since 2017, and each week I really try to remind you to go back and check out the archives because there's so much gold back in them thar hills. I think you're going to really enjoy it. If you go back, just scroll through. It's right there on the website at NashvilleChristianSongwriters.com. Just go to the podcast, look for View All Episodes, scroll through. I think you're going to find some good things there to help you. We've been doing this for so long, 200 plus episodes, and I know you're going to find a lot of things are going to help you there. Well, this is rewriting month all year long. I can't believe we're into the 11th month already, but this is rewriting month. We've been following the NCS 2025 Songwriting Challenge, and it's been a powerful experience for us here on the staff here at NCS, but I've heard from so many people that it's been a blessing to follow along with our first Monday free trainings, with all of our podcasts, with all of the socials and everything that we do to help kind of reinforce that songwriting is a long thing, a long game, and the more you can add to your knowledge, the more you can add to your skill set, the better off you're going to be. So thanks for following us. If you're brand new to the challenge, I would encourage you to go back and check out all the other months and just really enjoy that material and amp up what you're doing. Well, all right, so we're here to talk about rewriting. I'm joined by our Vice President of A&R and Production, my dear friend, Bryant Urick.
Hey.
Bryant, how's it going, bro?
It's going good, man. Going good. I can't believe it's already November.
Are
you talking about the annual challenge? I'm like, wow, 2 months left in 2025. Insane.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we're already working on next year's challenge. We're going to do it again. We've got a lot of great resources coming out next year. We have a documentary. We've got 2 books coming out. We're looking into so many new, awesome ways to encourage the people who are following along. So,
And I think the last time we counted something like 52 songs slated for release. The first half of next year. So who knows what will come in the whole year of 2026. But that's insane. That's a lot of songs.
You know, it really is, along with all of our coaching resources, like our brand new Clark Beckham mini courses, Songwriting from Scratch, released just a month or so ago. We've got 2 more being released on Black Friday.
That's right.
We're going to be talking about vocal performance and chord progressions, along with the Songwriting from Scratch. We're going to do some bundling. That always sounds weird, but we're going to be bundling. We're going to do some bundling, and it's going to be really awesome. So we're going to bring a lot of value to people who are wanting to learn about songwriting, chord progressions, and vocal performance. Clark Beckham was on season 14 of Idol, American Idol, and was runner-up. Should have won. It was rigged. The guy should have won, and he's now part of our coaching staff, and we're releasing music. His first single with us is coming out this month, November 14.
That's right. It's going to be a banger, too. It's a great song. Mystery is the title. Am I supposed to share that? I don't know.
I think you just did. But
I think it's already out in the airwaves, but yeah, it's going to be amazing. And Clark's got a ton of music queued up for the first part of next year, and then working on a project, TBD, for next year as well. So lots of fun stuff to come.
He's just so great. I mean, not only is he one of Nashville's top vocalists, but he's just a sweetheart.
Yeah.
And he came on our show earlier this year. We all just, I don't know, kind of started drooling. It's like, oh my God, you're so sweet. And he really endeared himself to us just immediately with his kindness, his demeanor, the way that he loves to coach people. And it was like a great fit, you know? I mean, there are a lot of great singers out there, but this guy really loves people. He's in the coaching space, and it just felt like the right thing to do to create some material around him. So this is what we're launching with, and we'll be doing some more things next year.
Mm-hmm. He's really a person of ministry too, like loves working with people, speaks at a lot of churches, leads worship. So he brings so much value to the table with coaching, but also just incredible musical ability and songwriting and the whole thing.
So check out our newsletters. I'll get it out in a sec. Our newsletters really is a great way. If you don't happen to be on our mailing list, you can easily accomplish that and hear all about what we're doing. We're in the process of getting things on our site about the courses and Clark, and also about Eau Claire, your band, and with Justin Barnett, who's a new worship leader signed to NCS Records, as well as your band, Eau Claire. And so you guys have a new single coming out.
Yeah, November 7th.
That's actually, this week, right?
Yeah, it just came out on Friday. So it's been an amazing, but just releasing songs consistently has been so fun the last 3 or 4 months. But this one's a really special one. It's called Little Heartbeat, and a lot of backstory there, but it's fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, you are doing so many things, wearing so many hats, working here at the company. You've got the band, you're a songwriter, producer. It's like a new dad, about to be a third-time dad.
Triple dad.
Yeah. Yeah. So congratulations on all that.
Thank you.
Things are hustling in your life.
Things, time is something that I am trying to find and make more margin for the things that matter. It's like, even we talk about this in our community calls every week with NCS community. It's like, you make time for the things that are important. It's not like everybody has the same amount of time, but it's about what your commitments are and where you prioritize things. So this is a season for me of juggling and trying to prioritize the right things.
I'm sure. It sure sounds like it. That's a really perfect lead in to our topic today of rewriting, because a lot of people that are listening to us today, watching us here on the video, probably feel like they don't have enough time to just write, much less rewrite.
Right.
But I learned a long time ago, coming to Nashville and getting started in writing songs on a professional level, that writing is rewriting. And that, you never really stop refining your song, refining even your craft and kind of the overall picture, the big picture. It's like you're always growing, you're always improving. If you want to be better, I mean, not everybody does. Some people might be satisfied with where they are, and that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm not that way. I mean, you know me, after all these years that I push and push and push into growing. I feel like a day that I learned something is a good day, no matter what else happened. If I feel like I'm improving my mind, improving my mindset, improving my attitude, improving just the way that I love people, improving the way that I lead, that's a good day, if I'm learning and growing.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking earlier about just being a student, like a lifelong student, that's the whole. If you want to win at songwriting, really if you want to win at anything, but since we're talking about songwriting, it's to be a student, like a lifelong learner, is going to always be the best posture or thing to practice. Because you're never going to, for one, your songs are probably never going to be done. If you're like me, they never feel like they're done. So it's just constantly learning about myself, about my process, and about the process of songwriting, learning more from people around me, and just almost like a sponge, just soaking up at every opportunity.
Yeah. I think that's really cool. And, writing is rewriting, learning to edit. And I think probably the first kind of resistance that we might feel when we talk about rewriting is, well, isn't it good enough what I wrote, right? I mean, the first thing I wrote, wasn't it inspired? Didn't God give me that song? And why would I have to go back and rewrite it? And I think in today's show, we'd like to unpack a few things that, kind of come up. But there's always a little bit of, I think, false pride that I see when I'm working with new songwriters. And they all say, God called me to this. I'm inspired to do this. I'm not in it for the money. I don't want to be famous. I mean, everybody kind of says that.
Yeah.
And I've learned over the years, it sounds good. It sounds right. But it's a bit of false humility, because if the Bible says that a workman is worthy of their hire, and I don't think any of us would fault Chris Tomlin for making millions of dollars, because he's given us "My chains are gone, I've been set free," and all those other "How great is our God," all those great songs, right?
Yeah.
So I'm saying, throw more at him, give him cars and babies and money, and just throw it all at him, because he's blessed us. He's given us a language for worship that we didn't have,
Yeah,
And so when we put on that false humility, I think we're kind of, and especially when we say, God gave me this song and I don't want to change it, I think we're foreclosing on the opportunity to improve and to get better. And those are kind of hard to break down sometimes, because people get defensive, I guess is what I'm really trying to say.
Right. Yeah, and they think that maybe that, and I guess there are times where that original idea is like special, and like, I don't know, maybe I wouldn't say there's probably pretty rare that the whole song is just like spit out and done 100%.
Unless you're an amazing writer already.
Yeah, or you're just like in a pinch. I've heard of like, people writing that like 11th song for the record, and then that's the one that ends up, like they wrote it in the studio like while they're recording, and then that's the one that ends up like being great. So there is something to say about just like making something and putting it out there, but I think more often than not, it's the refining and the little like last 10% of a song that makes it go from good to great.
Yeah.
And even I was thinking of examples. Even a few weeks ago, we did our writers retreat. And I'll get it out at some point. And there was a session where we got the song done, so we had some extra time, and so we were combing through it. And I think since some of the writers were new, they kind of thought I was crazy, because I'm going in and like, yeah, but if we say this instead of that, like the literal words,
right,
then it changes the context. And they're like, oh yeah, I guess you're right. Or if you have something that's plural and you take the S off, like little things that like in that refining moment, it's like those things actually matter and can change the whole context of a line just by taking out like a "the" or you know what I mean?
I do.
So it's the little like stuff that's the little like 5 or 10% that just takes it over the top.
Yeah, kind of a nuance thing. Yeah. I mean, when you can finesse a lyric, it makes all the difference in the world. And I think that begs the topic of just really having a strong ability, a strong skill set, I'd rather say, in songwriting, because a lot of times writers are new, they haven't really done it very much, and everything they write is precious to them. And because they have a bit of an emotion while they're writing it, or maybe God blessed them, and so they tried to express it in a song, and then they're kind of married to it. I've really loved some of the Berklee School of Music songwriting books. And there's one guy, his name escapes me. I always want to say John Stamos, but that was a guy that was on that.
Yeah, he had a great band.
Television show.
Jesse and the Rippers.
Yeah.
Full House.
But he was on Full House, yeah. But it's
Uncle
something
Jesse,
like that.
Man.
But anyway, I always remember that he talked about song seeds. And it's kind of a simple analogy, but he says that when you get the seed, the idea of a song, whether it's a hook, whether it's a melody or something, if you think that that's all there is, that it's been delivered in the final form, then you're, again, foreclosing on any improvement. And he's like, no, stick that thing in the ground and work it and fertilize it and, give it water and sunshine and let it grow into what it's supposed to be. And don't just make up your mind that, hey, this is it and I'm not changing it. But, when a writer doesn't really have a strong skill set, they're going to be more likely to hold something really tight to the chest and be unwilling to rewrite or even receive critique. I mean, even receiving critique like we do so much around here can be hard for people, and they mentally shut down because it's scary. Yeah.
Well, or they submit something that, like you said, is locked in already to try to get critique on, and it's like, how can you speak into something that's already set in stone in their minds, There's just no
or
room.
like if they've recorded it or they've sung it for 28 years.
Or released it and it's already out.
Yeah.
And then they're like, hey, can you critique the song?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But,
it just doesn't work that way because you're not going to go back and change it. You're emotionally kind of tied to it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a real thing. I mean, I was thinking about in our context with the band, because it's really three of us, Claire. And it's an interesting dynamic sometimes because we're all writing most of the songs. There are a couple where it's been like one or two. But it is interesting because we have these like group text threads of lyrics when we're finishing a song. And it's like, hey, what about this? And somebody's like, nah, because this so there's this like back and forth. And I think early on, we probably all would have been really precious with our own ideas. And now it's like, oh, okay, yeah. Like I'll throw this out, but it's fine. If it gets shot down, it's fine. Or I'll fight for a lyric that I think is like, no, I think this says what we were trying to say, or at least what I'm trying to say. If you guys, we all get on the same page. But so that's an interesting dynamic. But I think, like you're saying, early on, it's very easy to just hold on too tightly. And if you want to get better, if you want to grow, you got to first put your ideas out there and be confident to do that, and then be, thick-skinned enough to receive critique and feedback and apply it and continue down the path.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And write a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have said, well, all you got to do to be successful is just write and write and write and write. And I would say that's partially true. I know people that have written the same bad song for 10 years, because they've never really grown. And I say write a lot, but write with knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
with all your getting of wisdom, get knowledge too, It's like you've got the inspiration, or you wouldn't be trying to write for Jesus, That's
right.
the inspiration. You've got the presence of God in your life, but now you need the skill set. Now you need to marry craft with that inspiration that you have so that you can grow. And even, if you're someone watching today and you haven't written a song, or maybe you've written one song in a year, well, I don't think it's a lack of inspiration, maybe not even motivation. It might be some fear, but I think it's really mostly just a lack of skills. And I believe that what we teach here at Nashville Christian Songwriters helps writers add to their skill set. I know it does because we've watched it. We're celebrating our 10 years, actually last month in October.
Mm-hmm.
But, I've watched as hundreds and hundreds of writers have leveled up their skills by going through our programs like NCS Community or getting a video course. All those things really helps because if you're just trying to write out of what you know right now, then that's as far as you're going to go. But if you really want to increase your song output, I think you've really got to gain skills.
Totally.
What would it feel like to have 52 weeks of access to the right people in Nashville? People who've been making music for decades. People who can answer every question that you have about what pro-level music making is all about. Well, you can get that and more by joining NCS Community. Our community is a group of worldwide dedicated Christian songwriters who want what you want, to glorify God with your gifts and to get your music out there. I hope that you'll consider joining NCS Community today.
Totally. I'm curious to know your thoughts on this because I know for me it's like, and a lot of people I've heard, even mix guys or producers, will have an idea or write a song and you almost have to like take a step back from it for a day or two, or like sleep or something in between just to come back at it with a fresh perspective. Has that been true for you? Like stepping away from a song and then coming back to it?
Yeah, absolutely. And even within a writing session, you might have a 2 or 3 hour session and you just need to get up and go get a drink or a coffee or go to the bathroom. And I don't know how many times I've come back from the bathroom and I'm like, okay, I know what you need to say. I got it, right? That's probably happened to so many people. But because you get out of the atmosphere, you stand up, you breathe a little bit, you walk, you move, and it kind of jars the brain a little bit because it's so easy to fall into tunnel vision and really just kind of blank out, because you're getting tired or you made the mistake of starting to look at your text or whatever, and you just kind of check out and you don't even mean to. There were probably, I guess there were probably 6 or 7 years in starting NCS that I didn't even take co-writing sessions because I knew that I wasn't going to be present in my mind. I was going to be sitting there resenting the fact that I'm working on a song that I don't really care about, and there was all this marketing I had to do, all this, accounting, or there was whatever. Yeah. And I just finally stopped until a few years ago when it all kind of kicked back in again, and we started to grow and, take on artists and do everything that we're doing. And I kind of revived my own artistry, which has been fun, worship leading and writing and recording, and that's been a lot of fun. And now I feel much better about it because I've got a great staff, and we're just operating at a whole other level now than we were. But staying in the room, even if it means taking a break from the room for a few minutes, is really what's important. So lots of ways to do that.
For sure. And sometimes those breaks can inspire like a completely new idea, right? Like you may be like working on an idea and you feel like, man, I've got this hook or I've got this thing that I know I need to write. But it's like pushing a boulder uphill kind of, and you can feel that. And sometimes it's worth pushing through, fighting through to get the song. But sometimes it's like cut your losses and just totally flip the song on its end. Like you might have a section in the verse that you flip to try to write a great chorus. Like I think you said tunnel vision earlier, and that's totally what happens is like, I have to use this hook at the end of the chorus, and then you get boxed in by this idea. So I think rewriting can happen when you're away from the song and you come back to it, but it can also happen like in the moment where you're just like, you may, and it's I've noticed great writers are really good at just keeping things moving. So it's like, we don't just get, stuck on one line and just sit there and stare at the screen.
Oh, that's the worst.
That's the worst, when everybody's quiet and just like, so you go, no, let's scrap all that and let's flip this around and let's try. It's just constant like movement. Yeah. And that's how you keep everything moving and engaged and the energy up. And so I think that concept of rewriting applies even in the moment when you're first crafting the idea. And I think the more you study this stuff and the more the better you get at writing songs, the more natural that stuff just happens in the moment.
I think that's cool. I'd like to give 3 points, three, I don't like tips, tricks, and hacks, but maybe 3 insights to learn how to co-write, be a better writer in general. Before I talk about those 3, though, what you were just talking about, scrapping the whole thing and turning something on its end. There's a writer here in town, and he always says, ain't nothing holy but Jesus. I like that. He says that often in writing sessions because you do get stuck sometimes on your favorite little puppy in the lyric, And Mike Harland of Lifeway used to call that drowning puppies. Like when you
scrapping somebody's idea.
Yeah, when you scrap an idea, it's like you're drowning puppies, which sounds really horrible and cruel, but sometimes you are so in love with a particular line or a melody that you're holding the whole song back. Right. Yep. All right, so let's talk about 3 ways to rewrite. Okay, the first is to pre-write. A lot of times writers don't really prepare, and they've not really studied whatever topic, or maybe they've got a little snippet of a phrase or a melody, but they don't really have any kind of plan in place. They just want to sit down and be inspired, and which, I believe everyone's inspired if they'll just listen to the Holy Spirit for half a second. Yeah. That inspiration lives in you. You are inspiration. You embody a being called inspiration. To be inspired is to be inspirited. I've always thought that was a cool kind of insight.
That is
So,
cool.
You could sit down for 3 minutes and have all the inspiration welling up in your heart that you need. But what you need are greater skills. And pre-writing would be a real key to helping you get started on a great song. And rewriting, I guess, in a way is editing. But if you start with a really strong bevy of material, like you at least have some direction in what you're wanting to write, based on whatever initial thought you had, the song seed, like we were talking a while ago. You've got that, but why not sit down and pull together examples of the kind of song you want to write? If you want to write, a Josh Baldwin song, well, you steep yourself in some Josh Baldwin. Or if you want to write a Zach Williams song, or, Ann Wilson, name somebody, but you're like, that's what I really want to try to do. And so part of my whole exercise here is going to be to do some study and spend some time pre-writing. I think that will ultimately help you in your rewriting. And here's the reason. If you're going for an Ann Wilson song and you start writing your particular song and you realize that it's going off the rails, you come back to your research. You come back to the kind of the vibe, the model song or the style. You kind of get yourself back in the genre. So I think that's a real key to rewriting is pre-writing.
So number 1 is rewriting is pre-writing. Number 2 is rewriting is... Are they all pre? Do they all rhyme with
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I could probably bend them into that.
De-writing. Unwriting. I don't know.
I think that often, I'll see if I can say it this way, rewriting is rewriting your hook, your title. How about that? Rewriting is pre-writing. Rewriting is rewriting your title, your hook, to be the strongest that it can be. Let me give you some ways to do that. Number 1 is rhyme. I talk about this a lot because I think it's so important. God created us to remember rhyme, from Mary Had a Little Lamb to Bohemian Rhapsody. I mean, it's like it's the rhyming in any kind of situation, whether it's marketing. Watch something on television. They use rhyme all the time. So that's number 1. The second thing within number 2 is alliteration. And you see that everywhere. It's just everywhere. We use it in our everyday speech. It's how God made us to remember. And so why not just dial it in, right? So if you have a mediocre title, you're going to wind up with a mediocre song. So what if you sit down and say, okay, this is the seed, this is the little germ of what I want to say, and write down 12 different titles, getting closer and closer and closer to rhyme and alliteration. If you can use, I always think about Meghan Trainor's 2014 breakthrough hit, made her the Grammy Awards New Artist of the Year 2014. All about that bass. All about that bass, no treble. You might hate that song. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's cutesy. It's, it's a little boppy song, but it has all that alliteration and rhyme with the A's and the B's and the T's. And so we remember it well. It just kind of goes, it bypasses the brain and just goes kind of right into your soul or something. And you find yourself tapping along, whether you like Meghan Trainor or not. You can think of all kinds of Christian songs as well. When I think about, oh gosh, I just totally lost it. It's the one, you came down from heaven. What
Lord,
a beautiful name it is.
High.
No.
Okay, sorry. Different era.
Well, you're different era. What a beautiful name it is. What a beautiful name it is. The name of Jesus Christ, right?
Yeah.
That title, what a beautiful name it is. So much rhyme and alliteration going off in that title. Of course, it's just a beautiful phrase, you know?
Some of that, I wonder, even like you said all about that bass, it's like, kind of what we were saying earlier about those principles just start to happen. Like the more you dig into this and get used to it, because it's like, what a beautiful name it is just rolls off the tongue. Like it's a nice phrase. It works. So I feel like, probably in some of those sessions, it's just working and somebody identifies like, oh, that's a good phrase, But then you break it down and you see the undercurrent of like the grammar and the English, and like you're so good at all the like anaphora and syllable count and stuff that really matters, because that's the foundation of our language and how we communicate. It's really cool.
I think you really hit on it there. This is all about great communication.
Mm-hmm.
A great song is communicating incredibly well a particular thought or emotion, like What a Beautiful Name. I don't know the total story behind that, but I bet somebody was praying or just worshiping the name and just said, "Oh, what a beautiful name it is."
And
the
that
name
just,
of Jesus. And like somebody was like, ding, 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 ding. There's a hook, right?
Totally.
So paying attention to rhyme and alliteration in your hooks, sit down and just work on them and try to come up with something original and fresh, something that has not been said. We work around the same themes in Christian music all the time. I guess they do in general marketplace music as well. It's usually love or breakup or, whatever. But, we talk about the cross. We talk about the name of Jesus. We talk about the love of God. We talk about redemption in whatever form. And so it's kind of hard sometimes when it feels like we're rehashing the same phrases over and over again. Like, here we are in your presence. Well, that was 50 years ago in worship music.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so you come up with those kinds of hooks and people are like, but if maybe you work with that. If you want to write about being in the presence of God, you find some different ways to say it, or some other iteration of that kind of freshens it up.
Totally. A song just came to mind. I think this was written in the 90s by like you probably remember who it is, but the song Waymaker that came back around with Leland recording it and some others. But I was thinking about that. That's a unique way to say, was Don Moen, God will make a way, but like Waymaker is you don't hear that in normal everyday conversation necessarily. But that's a cool title. It works. It's a new idea, jamming two words together, and then, the rest of Miracle Worker, Promise Keeper, Light in the Darkness. So it's cool to think like sometimes your title. I was also thinking of your song, Mercy Made Mine, which uses that, alliteration of the M's. But sometimes your title is not always like a everyday language. It's like coming up with something unique and different and jamming some different words together, It's kind of cool.
So a Nigerian worship leader named Sanak
wrote
Waymaker.
Okay, that's right.
And God bless her. I mean, it's simple in some ways, but it's so clever in other ways, like you were just pointing out, taking Waymaker, and that's the motif of the rest of the lyric, Promise Keeper, all of the things that, that goes into that. So it's very cool. God bless you, Sanak. Thank you for that song. And sometimes that comes back to bless me. But so those are a couple of great ways to do that. I think the other thing in rewriting is making sure that you have funneled every syllable in the song down to one big idea. And it's just the easiest thing in the world to get sidetracked, derailed, and throw 17 different themes into your song.
Right.
And if you do that, every time you throw a new idea in, you're leading us away from the OBI. We call it the one big idea, your OBI. So a lot of our editing work that we do around here and the critique that we do is to help writers really stick to that one idea. And it sounds like a simple thing, but it's really not, because we do have so many themes in Christian music, and it's easy to do what one person called popping religious popcorn, where you just because it's true doesn't mean it belongs in your song. Like your first verse, could be, the battle belongs to the Lord. I'm going to heaven one day. The devil is defeated, and this is why I pray. And it's like
because Jesus is Lord.
Yeah, it's like those are 5 different ideas, right?
Yeah.
So if you start with an idea about the battle belonging to the Lord, well, you need to stick with your metaphor of guns and arrows and fighting and it's like the battle. It's all about the battle. And so do a word search around that word, right? And don't throw in like, I know I was critiquing someone a number of years back, and the song was something like "The battle is the Lord's, and the Spirit's pouring down like rain, and it's like, okay, wait a minute, what are we talking about? Are we talking about the battle, or are we talking about the Spirit?
Right.
But because they're both true, they were really adamant, that they belong together. But just because it's spiritually true or biblically sound doesn't mean that it all belongs in the same song.
Right.
And so funneling every last syllable down to that powerful payoff for your hook, your big title, your OBI, I think that's probably in a big way one of the most important. So,
Totally.
yeah. Can you think of anything else to add, or I feel like
you wrapped it all nicely in 3 points. I mean, I think, it's never, songs might feel like you can never finish, right? Like a lot of people come to us and say like, well, I've got all these ideas, but I can never finish a song. So I think this helps put language to that, where it's like, it's not always just a one and done, like write a song start to finish scenario. It's a process, and you have to kind of work through the process to get to that finished song. So yeah, I think this is super helpful for people, and there are ways that we're making available for people to learn more about this, and NCS community and all of that. So yeah, that's great.
Absolutely. I don't believe in tips, tricks, or hacks, like I said earlier, and I really don't think like a formula songwriter personally. Every song that I love that I've written plenty that I was like, okay, that's done. But the songs that I care about, when I'm writing, I'm always trying to find that piece, that song seed, that piece of God's heart in it. What is He trying to do in this, and how can I best express it? But I do think that it's that it really is about capturing something of not only the truth, but of some emotion and a feeling. Because people don't really care what you say to them. Let me rephrase. They don't remember so much what you say as they remember how you made them feel. And it's the same with a song. And if a song has too many ideas, it's just not well crafted, you may feel it very deeply, but if it doesn't make me feel closer to the Lord, if it doesn't draw me into worship, if it doesn't exhort me in some way to be a better believer and a better person, then I'm just going to dismiss it. It's like one and done. Who cares? If it comes on the radio, I turn on something else, or just unaffected. That's the last thing you want, you don't want to be ignorable in your songwriting. And too much of our Christian songwriting is pablum. It's old, it's hackneyed, it's rehash. And what we want to do here is call people up to a better way of doing it.
Or it's just informational. It's just like scripture, which scripture's great, right? It's God-breathed, it's inspired. But man, we hear so many songs that are just like, Jesus was this, and He did this, and He went here, and now He's here. And it's like, yeah, that's great. But like, how is that moving people, or where is that moving people beyond just information? We don't need more information. We need encounter. We need like an experience. And that a producer friend of mine was talking about the moment when you get a little goosebumps or your hair stands up. You're looking for that moment to inspire people, and not just, we have ChatGPT now, can spit out songs and information, but that's just information. It doesn't give you that human spark or emotion.
Very plastic.
So yeah. So and that will just continue to happen, right? We've talked about doing a podcast or like a thing around AI because it's such a big conversation, but we're looking for that spark. And so if you can get your songs to that point through rewriting and through just continuing to refine them, that's the goal.
It's great. Good stuff, Bryant.
Yeah, you too, man. This is a good one.
Absolutely. This is...
They're not all great, This one's pretty good. I'm kidding. Wait, maybe I'm not.
Oh, all right. Well, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to land the plane bid. So I have no idea what he just said. So anyway, thanks for being here for the first show in the month of November. This is going to be a great month. We have some great guests for you. So I hope that you'll tune back in next week. Share these episodes if you're finding value. If you're loving us, which I hope you do, please share and let all of your creative friends, your songwriting friends, your church, your worship team, people that you care about, know about what we're doing here at Song Revolution. I do also hope that you will strongly consider joining us in NCS Community. It's a weekly coaching group. We meet for 1 hour, 11:30 a.m. on Tuesdays till 12:30 p.m. We critique songs, we teach, we share, we network. You can connect with co-writers. You can meet people from all over the world. It's a thriving community of dedicated Christian songwriters. And it's an opportunity to lose the lonely songwriter syndrome. You may be struggling with LSS. And the side effects of continuing to struggle with that can be diarrhea, it can be death, it can be all kinds of, like they say, I went there, sorry.
That was the first side
It can be all of those symptoms that you see leading up to death on those pharmaceutical commercials. Are we going to have to edit this?
I don't know.
All right.
Join NCS Community.
So,
come hang out with us.
Lose lonely songwriter syndrome today by joining. I'm going to leave this on here.
Yeah.
By joining
No
NCS
edits.
Community. No edits, Kyle. Let's just leave it. Let's see if people really watch to the end of these things. But anyway, it's affordable. We have a 14-day trial and money-back guarantee. You can pay annually and save a couple $100. And it's just a great place to be, a great place to grow, a great place to learn about writing and rewriting and all the things that we've been talking about today. But sincerely, we love you and we hope you'll check it out. We'll see you next time. If anybody will tune in again after this ending. See ya.
See ya.
Thanks for joining us on today's show. If you got some value, please help us share the love. Leave a like and a share and a good review. Be sure to check out everything that we have to offer you at NashvilleChristianSongwriters.com. We'll see you next time.